Hello, everyone. Dr. Garrett here. Friday, October 2nd, beautiful fall day. Hope everybody's out enjoying themselves. Been checking back on a few of my videos, and somebody said probably need to look a little bit more upbeat and less tired. And I said, well, I'm going to do my best. So, have a lot of things to cover, a lot of things going on, and not easy times for anyone involved. So, we're going to do the best we can. So, I want to give you a couple updates. Unfortunately, most of these are COVID related. So bear with me on this, and there were some questions that I want to answer as well as best I can, but I want to give you some updates first. So first of all, Orofino Junior Senior High School was out this week doing online on Wednesday and Thursday. We're going to continue that next week. Basically, we have about 75 kids that are either positives or quarantines, mostly quarantines at this point. So we have decided to cancel all activities and also close our building through October 12th. Now, those quarantines can vary, obviously, depending on what public health determines as direct exposure and how long that is. But overall, we're going to cancel everything through October 12th. We'll resume as normal on October 12th. So no events at OJSHS and no in-person school through October 12th. We'll begin Monday, October 12th. Right down with that, public health gives us our numbers and gives us recommendations. And I get some questions about, do we have to follow public health? And I've answered this before. No, we do not have to follow public health, but public health is the expert during the pandemic as well as healthcare professionals. And the question is, why would we not follow their recommendations? They are the experts in the field, and they have the recommendations of what we need to do to keep kids and our staff and our community as safe as possible. So we're going to continue to follow those recommendations. So one of the things I want to talk to you about just a little bit, with some positive cases, with some quarantines, we get lots of people questioning, why would you get tested? There tends to roll right into some almost bowling situations. You shut down the football game, you shut down the volleyball, whatever it might be. Those things need to end. That is not necessary. It's nobody's fault. COVID is not particular on who it can infect and when and why and all that. It is something that is real that we're dealing with, and we have to deal with the people that are quarantined and the people who are positives, and we move forward as best we can. So I ask the respect from everybody that, above all, we're all human beings and we're all here together. We all live in these communities together, and we want to be a part of the same team. So I ask that everybody try to support each other and support these kids. They're going through a tough year. Our school system, our district, our communities, everybody's going through a tough year. So we have to keep that in mind, pull it together, and work together to be successful. We don't need the added distractions and to help make us successful. So we're going to do the best we can. So I appreciate your support in that. So I had a couple questions. Number one was, why are we closing OJSHS and sports and activities? And I think I've answered that. We do have multiples positive cases, and I could give you some more definite numbers. One thing you have to remember, that public health, whenever they get their numbers, it is generally a 5 to 6 day delay from the time somebody is tested. So by the time the lab gets the test back, unless they do a rapid test, and then it generally takes a day or two for that to get to public health. So when you add all those up, it can be 3 to 5 days pretty easily, and sometimes 6, before we get any results back and know what kind of action we need to take. So bear with us on that. When you look at their website, generally it's not up-to-date information. We generally have that from public health much quicker than they can get it on their website. Next question is, why is OES still open, the elementary school at Orofino? Great question. We have that open. We do not have any positive cases. We have minimal quarantining. It hasn't affected our staff as much. So what we're looking at is we want to mask next week at Orofino Elementary due to those connections with the high school and junior high. Staff and students, intermixed families, whatever it might be, staff with students in school. And we asked that everybody mask next week to kind of help us protect and slow this down a little bit. That's our main goal, is keep our doors open. So that's what we're going to try to do every chance we get. Another question I had is, why should I get tested? And that question comes up a lot, and this goes back to what I originally said. There's been some bullying activities. There's been some, why did you do this? And some pacts being made that we're not going to get tested so we can keep playing, we can keep going to school. And I totally understand that and respect that. But the reality of it is we need to know what's happening in our communities with these cases so we can trace and we can keep people as safe as possible. We have the argument, a lot of people say, well, people aren't getting very sick. Kids aren't getting very sick. So far, we've been fortunate, and that is the case. We have some people that are fairly sick. I don't know if you're aware of those or not, and that is up to you to realize, but we do have some people that are getting sicker and sicker. And if it gets the wrong people, and I guess I don't feel we should be willing to sacrifice anybody over all this. So that's kind of my opinion, and that's, everybody has their own opinion. We're going to go off of science. We're going to do what public health says, and we're just going to continue to move forward. So please be respectful to people who have been tested and are either positive or quarantined. It's a tough time for them, and it's a tough time for all of us. They don't want to be in that position, and none of us do. So we want to do what we can to protect ourselves and each other and move forward from there. Another question I had that's often comes up, if my student is quarantined, am I quarantined as a parent or as a sibling? And the answer to that right now that I have from public health is no. They're only doing first level communication. So we're talking about somebody who's directly exposed to somebody who is positive. They will be quarantined. The siblings or the parents will not be quarantined. Now they are to watch for signs and symptoms and then go from there. So contact public health. If you have questions, they can answer those. I know that Carol Morley is developing and sending out an informational sheet that we are going to send to relay right on to all parents and to the community of some of those questions that are pretty common that people are having. So they'll have a little more clear path of what's going on. And again, I've been doing this enough that I kind of have that clear path, but it's very difficult to communicate that because every single situation is different. So to kind of wrap up, again, Orofino Junior Senior High School will be closed in building education and activities. The elementary will be open with masking. We'll resume those schools, or Orofino Junior Senior High School, on October 12th if everything goes to plan. The remainder of the schools in the district are open as normal. We made it through homecoming at Orofino, and that was awesome. And then we're almost to make it through homecoming at Timberline, so we hope we can continue that. And we ask that all of you out there continue to be safe. Follow the guidelines that public health gives us. We need the people that are quarantined to quarantine, and we appreciate that. And we hope that everything goes well, and we want to get this cut off so we can get back in school and get back to as normal as lives as possible. So appreciate your support. If you have any questions, let us know. Again, public health is always right there to listen and answer questions. And if you have anything, respect each other, be kind to each other, and let's move forward together. We're a community. We want to all be together and do positive things for our community. So hang in there. Thank you very much for your support. Have a great weekend. Get out there and enjoy the weather. Thanks.